Hello there, and welcome to my final match of the regular season portion of the Dominion League. Here with Schadd. We're kind of just a bit above 500 here, so if we get a good result, we have a shot at making the championship. And if we get an okay result, we probably are kind of in that spot where we're not not demoting or promoting, and just kind of hanging out for the rest of the season. Which I guess is nice. If I end up there, for everyone else, it leaves it all in a bit of suspense, which it'll all be a bit up in the air regardless, because nobody's super ahead in this division right now. All right, let's look at the kingdom. Can do guide tunnel vault, I guess. The draw is actually pretty weak here. To be honest, which is to say, there's I guess Royal Blacksmith with Hideout is enough to do some draw. Just then you have some village issues. What is Trapper's Lodge? Is that the top decking? Okay. We could stick a... That's not that useful. Is there a useful thing to put on top here? We could stick a guide on top. Am I just like crazy about the tunnel guide stuff? Is that just nonsense? You can throw displace in there later too. I mean, there certainly is an engine. It's just, I mean, it's not like Royal Blacksmiths are the easiest thing in the world to gain. I don't know. It's kind of... You really would like to trash the coppers. Hideout on top. You could go hideout supplies, I guess, into the next shuffle and then maybe do the... It would be pretty helpful to remove some of the coppers. And then you're kind of naturally into displace. What is contract? Okay. Interesting. I feel like at this point the tunnels, maybe you just get one tunnel and try to vault it some. I don't super love the second displace. Do we trigger the shuffle? Probably. We're about out of coppers already. It's not like there's a huge... I can't really get a leprechaun. I don't really have enough stuff to do that. I'll try and buy a vault, I guess. If I can. Or displace the tunnel. So you can't activate Leprechaun yet, right? There's like literally no way to activate it. It's a little weird. This is not ideal. Do we just get a curse, or do we just like buy another supplies? So we're gonna like displace tunnel into vault or tunnel into contract, I guess, and then buy a tunnel and get a gold off of that. Is that reasonable? I don't really understand the Leprechaun, frankly. Obviously it didn't hurt there, but like it could have pretty easily. This shuffle was not the one where we drew all the green together. That was a little sad. Mainly just because we didn't have the displace. That was the big deal. Big thing. I have all these supplies which are like, whatever. They're fine, but I'm not a big supplier on the whole. I don't think this is the spot to... It's like we're here, now we're just gonna do this, I guess. We didn't even have enough to get... It's a bit of a bummer. I wonder if we buy the blacksmith. So ideally we can... We just have a bunch of supplies here, don't we? We needed this in the shuffle. This is perfect. Do we want the chance to draw? Well, if we don't have it, we have the guide anyway, right? So we might as well get the gold. We're gonna draw what we either draw both the tunnels or we draw the gold. It's got to be better, right? Because we can guide. All right, so we're done with be a pretty nice. Well, we'll see what Schadd gets, but we may have a pretty nice turn to go province because we may have a lot of money relative to Schadd to make the... I don't think I want another blacksmith. Obviously, it's like a little bit sad to guide this hand, so maybe we don't guide it. You still, the leprechaun doesn't activate. I guess they're doing okay on money. They have all these silvers. Not that silver's great. Leprechaun's so weird to me. I guess it's a way to get gold. You can get rid of it now. Probably makes sense for me to get a contract at some point. I just don't think you can. None of this is really sustainable. You just can't fuel it very well. I can also trash one of the tunnels, which isn't crazy. Should we try to get... I don't know, we have to do it like this. This isn't super clean. Not really how I wanted. Maybe I should have trashed it gold. We could get a contract, but we can't play it. There was probably, I'm going to guess there was probably a turn or a play order there to get a better result than what we managed here. If I had to guess. We can go to 11, which is all right. Or we can get, I guess we can get to 11 either way. Get another... I'm not sure about this. There's quite a few points I have here. Buys a curse. Okay. I'm not sure. I mean, I understand, I guess. Maybe I don't understand, but should we lose the golds or should we lose the supplies? So unfortunately here we didn't manage to hit the province. I guess I could have top decked it. I also could have guided there. I'm trying to think if there's a nice... tunnel trick. I was kind of thinking of going province contract on the displace and maybe just buying tunnel. Maybe we can still do that. We could lose the hideout. Not sure this was it, frankly, but not the worst thing ever. Do we want to top deck the tunnels? Or the tunnel? It feels like bad to throw the horses. Plus, we're going to have the vault anyway. So... well, I guess that would also imply top decking it. Not guiding, but just... I'm not sure we really need more golds. We only really need to like displace one to province and buy province. Maybe Schadd will get enough going here to catch me. I could believe it. Schadd has the contracts and stuff, and obviously the leprechaun stuff can run now. They have triple, potentially. Which I don't really have. There's a lot of alt VP. I may be in a little better spot. I think there was, I guess to be fair, I could add another displace. To like make it look scary, even if it's not really that scary. Guide. That is surprising to me. Are they gonna contract the guide, I guess? Anyway, I can double province. That's totally safe. Well, especially if they do this. Maybe if they had bought a province, it wouldn't have been fully safe, but... do we want another gold? Probably. So we find the hideout, we can do realistically. Maybe we should have top decked that. Realistically, all we probably want to do here, if we have the money, is just gold and contract the Royal Blacksmith. My province. And I think schadd is quadding. So now schadd has to get a lot of duchies. Which they're not terrible at. I mean, it is going to be still a little hard to fuel the hideouts to do the gains, right? It doesn't suddenly get easier here. I didn't think the province or the Royal Blacksmith buy last turn was very good at all. I guess triple province, right? Because they'd have 15, I still have 32, so 18. I mean, that would give them a point. Yeah, I think they had to buy province. Now I couldn't have taken 2. I would have had to go province duchy or whatever. But I thought the Royal Blacksmith buy was pretty bad. The last one. So now they're gonna trash those to get their gains on. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm double. It's just gonna be too late, I think. Unless I'm missing something crazy. Because it also goes backwards on points. And it's kind of awkward later on too, potentially for just firing off. I mean, you have the guide, so that's not such a huge deal, but it'd be funny if schadd just has true or quad. I haven't really counted. There's not that many actions. Never mind. Surely double would be okay for me. 44, they have to make 30 points in a turn. I don't think that can happen. I also can save a horse, or probably contract a horse. All right, well, 4-3 certainly looks better there. I don't think. Good thing I didn't just play ton of money. Sometimes I say some incredibly stupid things. Sometimes I do some incredibly stupid things too, but fortunately a little bit less than I say them. Maybe, slightly. No one's counting. This is like a pretty low gain board, I guess. Well, I mean, it's just Weaver. I mean, they're good fours, so you can make it work with Weaver, of course, but the I wonder if you just open native village or do you take the delve? You didn't even have to take the Weaver off rip here, but I mean, like, what? The fives just aren't that. They're just drawing. They're good, but they're not like that good. If you're trying to clean up, you are gonna need saunas. That doesn't mean you open with the Weaver though. I think I might go silver sauna and buy Weaver on the reshuffle. I'm not gonna delve. I'm trying to think, like, the upsides of having the Weaver on the reshuffle are kind of small, aren't they? Or on this first, I guess you just maybe get extra copies of the saunas, depending on how the draws go. Obviously, the sauna by itself only is good if you get the silver hit. Not sure. Is there Weaver trickery? I mean, there's certainly cards that can discard here, but is it important trickery? One wonders. There's always that's always a question. It exists. I can see it. Is it important to do? How bad is it for me to expose the Avantos here? I mean, the sauna split can hardly be said to be important. I really generally don't like taking second of like Ironworks variants until you're closer to drawing deck, but maybe they won't have 5. Please don't have 5. I mean, I'm not having 5. I'm not even hitting the silver. Well, okay. If you get a native village, you don't really need the village necessarily. This was a bummer. This is like a couple silvers. It's a huge bummer. I don't think I really want a native village. They do have the 2 Weavers, which is a little bit worse at buying Navanto in theory. Than what I've done, I think. Maybe not markedly. More Weavers. Some people love their Weavers. Poacher. I'm not super into the Poacher. I think Schadd needs to do a little more drawing and a little less messing around. That's my take. Maybe I'll lose though. I mean, I could certainly lose. It's not that, the deck's not that bad, but. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, well, all right. It was, in theory, it was nice. We didn't draw any. We didn't draw anything, but. All right, we'll do our best. It was so many Weavers. I need a Weaver. All right. And then what's gonna happen? Someone's just gonna pile out weavers and royal galleys. They didn't find any of the good stuff with their Should I save this for a what should I save it for? What should I save the royal galley for? The Avanto, I guess. Okay. So, do I have another silver, right? I have 8. I mean, I'm gonna buy green here. For sure. I think the only fear is that Schadd can pile. That would be my fear. Does anyone else have that fear? And I have to have at least so right now the weaver count is 4 to 2. I mean, I have to have at least 3 to be able to pile. But do I just have to go for it now and hope Schadd can't pile out this very turn? They still have a lot of coppers, right? Do we get a poacher? We gotta save $5. And Shadd's going for it. They'll probably get it, but I didn't have like another option at that point. It doesn't look like Shadd's going on since the sauna didn't activate anything. Which means my pile out is pretty easy. I'm gonna say this was Shadd's fault. Like, I mean, you hate to put too fine of a print on it or whatever, but I mean, this is not. I don't think that those buy orders are good. Maybe they had really bad shuffles on top of it, but I don't think I'm a fan of the number of weavers there at that point. I mean, it's like a gain and play thing, right? So you get enough to help you build your little components to get draw going, and then once you draw deck, you add more. Okay. So we have a 5-2, which is pretty good. I mean, it's fine. You know. Probably as good. It's probably as good as the 3-4, maybe. Maybe the 3-4 is a little better. Draws the weakest thing here is just Caravan and Masterminding Vagrants, because you can't mastermind anything but the Vagrants for draw. Wonder if you take the treasure just to buy the stuff. Obviously you want a Sentinel. Maybe you just buy the Sentinel. Do you do Vagrant Sentinel? Or do you do the Lighthouse? I don't think you go for the collections anytime soon. Gonna do the trashing. Sailor's okay. I mean, Sailor Sentinel is pretty good. Yeah, that looks nicer than what I'm gonna do here. Does it just have to be the Sentinel? I mean, it could be Treasurer first. Treasurer at least lets you buy maybe some other stuff. Not that that's a really, really great thing necessarily. A little annoying. All right, I'm gonna try it. And we'll go Sentinel and then maybe like Village Green for the next thing. I guess if your opponent doesn't draw them also, that helps. We could have taken Key. We could pursue the Sentinel. I don't super love the Lighthouse. It's just like, okay. Mostly because I don't think the Charlatans are all that good. You get a nice Sentinel here. Maybe I take Collection next. The Sailor Mastermind interaction is nice. I mean, there's a lot of nice stuff here. It just takes a little bit to get any of it going. I think you can just buy Lighthouse if they get a Charlatan, and otherwise you can just be like, whatever. If you're deck drawing, then your treasure just blows it up anyway. Do we just do the stop here again? Upsides aren't super huge. It'd be kind of nice to have more money, but they can well, they don't have a mastermind target. Oh, you can mastermind durations. Why did I think you couldn't do that? Well, I read mastermind now. It turns out you can mastermind durations. Now, whether you want to, you know, that's another thing, but. We didn't draw any of the collections, sad times. So do we go for a sailor or do we go for a just mastermind straight? It's pretty sad that we didn't find. Well, it was one card. One of my. It obviously I would like to draw the collection, but it's not that big of a deal. Sailor Pursuit. Let's just buy the Mastermind. I have a little better money, I think. Their money's fine though. You gotta buy a Vagrant, right? Yeah. Okay. So we don't draw the Mastermind, but 3. We can have 7 or we can have 8. They drew Vagrant. They drew the Vagrant, unfortunately. They probably will buy another collection here. Well, they may go. They may get the Mastermind pair. Unfortunately for Schadd, that's not really payload increasing. So while it's a reasonable thing as far as the consistency here, there's no reason to play the Sentinel first. There's nothing good there anyway. We can play it now. Just buy a Vagrant. You gotta buy. Well, you can do a collection, but oh, they didn't buy a collection. They bought a Lighthouse. Yeah, that's okay. This is kind of funny. The Vagrant drawing the estate is a little bit of a not what we want. What do we have in here? It's like Vagrant, Village Green, maybe another Vagrant. Well, we might as well leave it. I was gonna play the Village Green, but well, we could. I mean, all of it's probably fine. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 8. I guess it's just 8. Well, we might as well leave it. Well, I could have taken... That's actually interesting. They could have failed to draw there. This is such an it's such a it's just super easy to handle the curses. Now it's nice to get the money, of course. The curses are, I'm just not sure it's better than treasurer is all. Unfortunately, they are able to draw deck and get the get that, so need to find the sentinel. Guess the other card's a... I think I want to go double 5. I don't know. I might get a charlatan. Well, they have the lighthouses, don't they? Maybe I guess I could have gotten a lighthouse last turn over a vagrant. That might have made some sense. What do we got? I'm not gonna caravan, or I'm not gonna... I got a sailor the mastermind. That's actually... they just have the... Now I'm just confused, but whatever. Do I want to... I probably still want 10. Maybe they'll let me. I'm trying to see if I... I maybe should have double masterminded, because I'm not going to have 2 down for this next turn. There's no way. They can have 3 down. I mean, I guess the thing is that none of it increases your... None of it increases your gains. Only collection does that. I mean, you can get up to a point of having... They're playing a lot of lighthouses, which I don't like that much. I don't. Your draw isn't that. Your draw isn't that robust. We just have to draw the collection. Actually, this is perfect. Next turn we'll have the sailor. I wonder if we buy the... Still nobody's increasing buys, right? And even if you did, you wouldn't, like... I'm gonna have a little bit of a dry here. I guess they could empty the masterminds, which would be a little scary. To me. Can I colony? I mean, does colony give me a path to piling out? I guess it still does. I'm not sure that's correct at all, but... We drew the colony, unfortunately, in hand, so the vagrant won't protect us. But, or the vagrant won't give us a bonus, but that's okay. I do feel like I needed sailors sooner somehow. There were some spots where I think the buys could be like clearly improved for me. Does that work? I mean, does the collection stuff work? It's 5 times 4, it's like 20 points. But if the lighthouses are gone, like if I buy a lot of the lighthouses, they don't necessarily have the money. I mean, they can buy Sentinels, but that it just doesn't scale as well as like Goons because you can't buy coppers at the end. I wonder if I should do Caravan here rather than Vagrant. I don't know how many more turns it's gonna be. Certainly I can pile out within a couple turns, or within 2 or 3 turns. I'm gonna say that there's like no... I say that, it's not certainly. May not even get to the... Oh, I don't know why I did that this way. I mean, I guess it's a question of which one I want to actually play between the two, which is like a reasonable question. How many points did I say they would be able to score? I don't really know. This could be frightening. I don't know that they'll have the stuff to afford it. I mean, they only need 17 bucks. I may just lose off this. I don't know. I don't know if they can draw it all, to be honest. Well, okay. They probably can draw it all. So now they just need $17. They have 510. I don't know if they don't find the charlatan, I don't know that they have enough money. So they didn't... I'm not sure the money's there. Maybe it is. I'm not totally clear. Well, they did mastermind it. Did they have a masterminded mastermind? I really didn't watch Shadd's turn, so they certainly have enough money here. If I had gotten enough to do a colony, would that even have beat this? Like, what's their max points here while piling out? Obviously, this is like way more than enough, but I mean, if I get to call, if I find the, well, even if I find the thing, is that 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. It was kind of close. I definitely think I must have botched it in some way. I mean, not that it was free at all, but just I think I was maybe a little bit ahead. It's not clear. It's not really clear that I was ahead to me. Maybe it's clear to you, but we have Island Folk and Contract, which is thing. And then also the clashes, but also Sanctuary if you just want to buy province and do that. That's pretty good too. Buy province and set them aside. I know we can do a scrap. Getting to the point of playing a couple contracts a turn is going to be really important. Island Folk is the one I'm thinking of, right? We had a game. Yeah. They take silver, which I think is fine. Just because the 5s are very good. I will buy a battle plan here. I'll go cart horse, buy battle plan. They go innovation, which, you know, can't complain about the innovation. It's always a good one. You can get your horse. Look, and they drew their scrap on the reshuffle. That's nice. The lookout kind of sucks, frankly, but it can't all be good cards. Do we start on the contracts now? Or do we still take like a laboratory or another sanctuary? I mean, the coppers, of course, are terrible, but all the 5s look pretty nice. I didn't play my battle plan right, so the battle plan is still there. So I can't go forward and draw the thing. We get the contract now. We could get the laboratory. I want to get a 3rd sanctuary, but I guess we're done with estates. This hand probably can't buy archers, so probably that flip doesn't occur. Innovation is really good here. Because they can do the archer and they can do the thing. They can attack me. They don't flip it though, which surprises me. Even if they flipped, they could have flipped all the way to warrior, you know. Or not warrior, whatever it's called. Warlord. They could have flipped all the way to warlord. They choose not to. The lookout's okay. I mean, it's... Oh, they already innovated. They already innovated. Right. Of course. Should we just sanctuary the scrap? What's our scrap situation here? How much more scrap use are we gonna even get? You know what would actually really rule is if contract was on top of my deck now and I drew it, and then with battle plan I flipped and I bought an archer and then I contracted a horse. That would kind of rule. What are we looking at for the exile, like, or for the scrap? I mean, there's some good stuff you can do, but I guess I can just not exile. I wonder if we'll ever have a... Okay. Should we... flip it or should we wait? Well, this wasn't great. This kind of sucks. I don't deserve this. This is like an obscene draw. So I wonder if they'll buy the archer. I'm kind of a little sad. I mean, it works out because all I'm going to do now is buy archer. But so it's a little funny. They don't have a contract yet though, which is cool. Well, they can always discard a. Oh, let's keep. Yeah, they can hit all that. That's fine. Plays an archer. How many archers do they? I'm so confused. They have 3 archers? Why did they buy 2 archers? Just don't understand so many things that happen in this game. Truthfully. We might get to, yeah, okay. We don't really want to set aside the sanctuary yet because, well, we just want to keep playing this contract at the moment. They have a lot of archers. I guess they could have like rotated stuff around there so that I can't get a warlord. Get another warlord. Did they? Okay. Now they can't innovate the warlord. What do I choose not to? I could flip. They're probably buying a warlord. I was gonna say I could think about flipping them. They can always get back, so what does it matter? It's probably slightly better to keep. Well, okay, we'll just get lucky. Nothing like getting lucky. Do I have $10? If both of these, that would be kind of good. If we draw the silver, I think we play for that. Otherwise, we would definitely exile. I guess with Island Folk, you can, with Island Folk, you can always have the attack going on their turn if you want anyway. So maybe that's not so important. Though I do think double 5 is pretty good here anyway. Maybe it's not better than thinning. I mean, schadd is also pretty long ways from, but I also, what do I care about the warlord attack right now? It's not like I have those cards. Should we buy lab or should we buy the contract? We get the even if we buy a second contract now, we don't get enough plays of it, right? Well, no, we technically could get there, right? 6 to 10. We could get there if we draw deck and have the, but we can't even really draw deck. I think it's better to get the lab and actually exile some stuff this time. So we still get the extra turn. Did they play Warlord? They did play Warlord. We could actually innovate that, but I think what we're going to do, I'm not even sure it's worth it. I don't know that it actually is. What is the advantage? Like schadd, the advantage is just that schadd's nowhere near actually playing the contracts. So we should just get the thing, but like let's just leave the warlord and schadd can buy it if he wants to, and we'll go. Because schadd can always, once the island folk stuff set up, they can always get the continual warlord attack going. I mean, we could rotate it and make that a little awkward, I guess. Potentially. Actually, I forgot see if they'll let me. This is a little bit far. There was maybe something to doing the Warlord. But like I said, it's kind of a bait of a 5 they have to buy. It isn't a contract. No, maybe not. I mean, they can always just not buy it. I think I need to get hordes and then this didn't. They're almost always going to discard a lab anyway. We could like buy. The thing is, if you have 4 contracts, you can do the contract thing. There goes one of the archers at long last. Well, that's a little bit of a bummer. How much money do we have? We get enough contracts. It's like 8 would be kind of nice to go horde contract. It's not clear we want a horde actually, but guess we can set aside. We play a scrap. Do we want a silver? Do I want to get another battle plan? Maybe. So we only need like 9-ish. Or 11-ish maybe. Oh, we need to not contract anything, right? Well, we could buy a contract, I guess. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can go battle plan. It's either get the contract or don't. Okay. We could go 8, 14. Do we have 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. We have 14. That doesn't toss a copper. Let's just go battle plan province without the set aside. Really probably overthinking this a fair bit. Guess we get a Hamlet. They're not like super good, but they're okay. I don't remember if I hated anything Schadd did or if it was just like my draws were better. Okay. So we have a 5-2, which looks certainly playable here. I'm not sure if it's better. Slay is a little bit of a hard sell on the 2. I mean, the wharf, you know, okay, you're not complaining about the wharf opening. Remake maybe a little bit worse. I don't know. 4-3 might be a little better. I don't know if you get a slay. I'll be perfectly honest. I mean, certainly if this was like whatever Ox, is Ox the village one? That one seems pretty easy, but I think it's no right now, right? You get lucky and draw the wharf. We probably are looking for either a hostelry or a magpie here. Maybe just the remake. Okay. I was hoping of course to get a horse, but you know. Okay. So this could be like, we could go remake Slay even. Though maybe it's just remake. We need something to do payload at some point here, because right now we're just getting nothing. The Slay is probably not good. You could just buy a festival and try and play the magpies and the wharves, and then buy the remake later. The actual truth is that you don't necessarily have to do remake. You could probably just live off wharf draw money stuff. Festival money kinds of things. Okay, we get a magpie. This is pretty nice. I think for now we just do the 2 silvers. We don't really have the terminal space. This is okay. We could just go wharf hostelry. Obviously, we could do a hostelry with a bunch of horses as well. We'll probably do that at some point. I mean, they're moats. If you have enough villages, they're quite nice. Did they bottom deck their wharf? That sucks. Super bad for Schadd. Think we do have a hostelry in here. I guess Shad got more of the magpies. This is pretty okay. We could get a rogue at some point. How close are we to piling? That part is moderately scary since I have -5 points relative to Shad. Surprised they didn't go on, but well, now the point stuff isn't such a big deal. I mean, if we can save, if we have that plus actions to save the horses, we should think about that, but it would be nice to draw another is there any risk of pileouts? We could go remake hostelry for a bunch of horses. What's Shad's got one wharf down? It's a lot of wharfs to gain to pile. Then the question is, do we get Rogue or do we get Festival? Or do we just buy a remake? I'm not really convinced what I did there was super good. I mean, I left some actions in Overdraw unplayed, so that indicates it probably wasn't the best thing ever. I'm going to be right back. Two provinces. That's a lot of provinces. I guess I didn't really get into necessarily any better position to pile out. Do I have enough money for that? What did they do? Oh, they got another silver, I see. Well, maybe they can do remake chains. Well, they don't have that much draw, right? I mean, they don't have the... I don't know how much of this to try and preserve the horses versus getting the actions, you know? I may end up... Because I do have still quite a few unplayed. So there's a wharf. This is a little unfortunate in that we can't quite... 1, 2, 3, 4. Gain in play looks a little bit awkward. Maybe it works. So we can go remake Remake Magpie Festival. We could even do a copyright. We have 1, 2. What do we got? 6, 8, 10, 12, 16. We're at 16 in hand right now. So, but we could trash a silver if we do Magpie. We could even, well, we're not going to do that. Anyway, we score a little bit more there. We still have held some horses. Doubt very much there was a pile out. We lowered the festivals and remakes a little bit. Didn't check, you know, I didn't check the estates. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buys. We could have scored 8 instead of scoring 12. We would have had 4 fewer points. We would have had 6. We would just, well, I don't know if we had it, right? We would have had a remake for the hostelries, but I don't know if we had the stuff in hand. But if we don't, like, if we don't do the festival, if we just, I was just holding 2 horses with remake, right? I was just holding 2 horses with remake, so there's like no shot. But and then I needed the festival buy. Okay, maybe it didn't quite work. Maybe it didn't quite work. It should be pretty easy here though. I should have been looking for it. That's the big thing. It's just that I was not even checking for it, which is not okay. Put it that way. Now, of course, here we could even maybe do a wharf pile out or something, but we're not going to get to. We have to think a little bit. I mean, we would like to have horses left over. I mean, if at the very least have some. We get another buck from farmer's market, which may be useful. We can get a magpie or a silver might be useful. The silver might be useful, actually. But we do need to have enough. Well, we know at the end we had at least 2 horses, but I'm not sure exactly where the horse situation ended up. We had 1 and we had 1 in hand, so there's 2, 3. We have 3 horses, 4 horses. Should have 4 horses. So as long as we have those at the end, it should be okay. I guess we can stop if at any point we just have it in hand. That also would be a good thing to do. Because here's the buys. 4, 7, 9. Well, that's not it, right? 7, 9, 12, $14 is not it. So that's not quite it. I wonder if there's a point where the rogue as draw is better than rogue as money. This is the same hand. We could maybe do it to one of the silvers if we have overdraw. What are the cards left though? Like we could maybe trash a silver for a hostelry. Oh, I should have played hostelry for as otter. Why am I not? That's so stupid of me. That was the thing that I whiffed on, right? I believe this will work though. That was the thing that I whiffed on. That's so stupid for me not to have done. Oh, wait. Is it better to... No, we don't want to do that. And then we get 9, 11, but we can gain a silver back. Or whatever. I just like almost totally mess that up, which was not cool, but... I just can't believe that I wasn't thinking of otter on the hostelries during the middle of it, or on maybe not the middle, but towards the end there. That very last hostelry I played was just clearly should have been ottered. Not the very last of the turn, but of the point where I was worried about drawing. When I drew hostelry horse off that one horse, obviously the next hostelry should be ottered. That was stupid. All right, we got 4, so we'll try to get one more. We're probably okay for not demoting at this point. It would be a really weird season if we did, but it could be quite important to get this point to try and make the championship. So we'll try our best. We have triple landscape. These boards get so confusing. This is probably a blockade buy. Do you do the forest dweller on the first turn? I never really know when to do forest dwellers. Obviously, there's a shot. You just get to draw your blockade right away, so that's pretty good. I think with 4, it makes sense, right? With the 3, it could be kind of bad, but with the 4, it makes sense. You probably just want a lot of blockades here for a while. Well, there's really not... I guess there's not that many good things to gain. Well, you want a couple blockades anyway. You can do pretty big conquest stuff. It's going to be a little hard to get the draws perfectly consistent. That's going to be a bit of a problem, but it should work. So buys and gain the lookout. I'm not a huge fan of the lookout. I guess if you have 3, I think I would even, if I had 3 there, I think I would just go ahead and buy the silver, honestly. Should we buy the sauna? What is schadd likely to blockade here? Should we just buy the sauna while we can and then blockade for a blockade? What's our situation here? So unfortunately we don't hit 3, which is sad, but whatever. That's the way of the world. If we had silver here, this would be a pretty huge shuffle. We would be in good spot, but the copper's on the bottom, which was not unlikely. That was not that weird, but we could put a silver into our hand. Is another option. We do have the sauna down in there. It's not trashing. I don't think I'm gonna get a look at it. I think I'm gonna pass on that. I guess unless there's just some clear turn where I don't have something nice else to gain. It'll be kind of funny when you... How does blockade work? Well, it'll be kind of funny if people blockade silvers when we do conquesting stuff. Actually, I changed my mind. Did I change my mind? No, I don't change my mind. Do we buy a city quarter? That can't possibly be it now. I guess we're not like too far away from it, but oh, this is not a great reshuffle. I need to make these things go away. The curses may run. I mean, at some point you're just like, well, I guess I have to. Well, let's just. I wonder what happens when you gain the last sauna. Like if you gain the last sauna, does the interface know not to put a token there? I'm curious. I gotta play these. Well, that's no good. And buy a silver. Do they have that many buys and games? Okay. That's all right. We did not pair. We still cannot pair trashing stuff. We've not been very good at that. Unfortunately. Saunas really don't matter unless you get like all of them. Otherwise, they'll probably have enough trashing with it. Gross. Two lookouts. I didn't know they had two lookouts. Guess they can go like Sauna Silver. They get a TR, okay. I would have gone, I mean, I would have probably gotten a silver just because you're putting a Sauna into hand, but what do I know? These are obviously pretty ugly. We could think about a lookout. Mm-hmm. Shadow will probably go like Sauna Silver. Well, they don't have that many blockades, but they could buy. Well, they won't be able to buy probably. Maybe they just already knew they had a silver in hand. I wasn't really paying. Oh, look, the thing's not there. That's cool. The interface did it good. I'm pretty far behind here. Probably just lost. But they can mess up. We really needed the city quarter to be in the hand with these two so that we get a little bit of more draw here, but Would have liked to get a tiara, but let's just buy the city quarters and see if we get lucky enough. I don't know. I'm not totally convinced by the treasure maps, but I guess it makes sense. I wonder if Schadd it's quite possible Schadd could take advantage of Gatekeeper at some point here. Two. Not that you can't get around it somewhat, but just my gains are kind of slow, and I think it beats blockade stuff, or I'm not sure actually what happens with that, but I remain sort of unconvinced by the question here is whether we need to buy, whether we should trash, or whether we should, I guess we probably ought to prioritize trashing. I think the treasure map stuff is surely going to work out. Don't you play your silver? Oh, they don't have a silver. I was going to say, surely you trash that junk, but if you don't have a silver, then... I wonder here if you go, like, hunting ground, city quarter. Or you could do Avanto. Would be fine. Yeah, this is super over. Again, there's no reason to buy the treasure map, is there? I don't know. Maybe it works. Obviously, this works in the sense that we'll just straight up win unless they mess up a pile out. I think I have a city quarter in there. I don't have enough money to even buy or get a tiara, so... I think Schadd is going to... You know what you can do? They can blockade, or they can gain a bunch of the treasure. They maybe have a curse pile out here. I don't know. This is literally only on Schadd leaving a 3 pile. That's like the only possible thing that can happen here. I don't... and if you have a path to 3 pile the next turn, it's probably okay. I just don't know if the provinces are the play. You know? I don't have another blockade, do I? Yup. I was gonna say I needed a blockade so I could This is so stupid. What is a win like? There's no win surely, but what is a dud even? Like, what is my best move off a dud? I would need schadd to like dud several times, and then in that case, I guess you could get schadd like actually did dud that many times. You could get up to a point where you won with conquest probably, but. But that's not gonna. Maybe they have the estate pile out. Well, it's looking like 4-2, so I think 17 is pretty unlikely to make it to the finals this season, to be honest, but look at all that money. They should have emptied the city quarters or the estates. All right. Yeah, I'm not loving what I did there, but there was some sadness on the draws. There's also, trying to think, what did I open? We both did the same thing, and then they drew their blockade turn 2, right? Maybe they didn't. I didn't. I didn't draw my blockade turn 2, so that was unfortunate, but maybe I was just behind from that point. But obviously, I think I didn't give myself a good shot because whatever I was doing did absolutely nothing. So, all right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this season. That's probably the end of it, but maybe it'll come out weird and everyone will go about even and somehow make the championship. But that looks pretty unlikely for now. But in any case, I will catch you all later.